Why it's so important to become successful if you were raised in a dysfunctional or a toxic household. Mind me wearing my jacket half. Like, number one, you saw how your mother suffered, especially if you knew the suffering that one parent had to go through. For example, if it's a mother, if it's a father, listen, I'm not trying to discriminate. You know, women also abuse men. So whoever you saw in your household that was suffering or suffered and struggled, and how you saw them growing up, especially as a child, because I feel like children don't forget, especially when a parent is hurt, a parent is sad. I feel like even us as grown up children, we know how that felt like. I feel like it's so important to, like, I need to be successful for my mom. I need to do it for my dad. I need to do it for my siblings, for my little brother. I feel like having a big why is so and very, very important. If you don't have a big why on why you wake up every single day, someone who does will always beat you each and every single time, whether that comes to your dreams, whether that comes to content creation, whatever the case is. I feel like having that almost gives you like a backbone on, okay, this is why I do what I do. It's for this person and they did so much. And I feel like that is almost like a burning fuel. It's like a motivational fuel that never ends. It never finishes because it's real and it's tangible. But if it's something like motivation, like a fleeting emotion, it goes in and goes out, just like a mood swing, you know? I feel like having someone on why you do what you do, it just makes things so much more wholesome, and it makes you go harder for people. Because I don't know about you guys, but with me, I might procrastinate when it comes to myself, but I will never procrastinate when it comes to my mom, because I love that woman and I'm gonna go hard for that woman, period. And she doesn't even know it. And I feel like when you have someone as a why, it makes everything just so much more enjoyable, and it makes it just so much more better. Let me know if you guys agree. You have to understand that you are so unique, that you are literally one of one. Anyone could have came through your lineage, through your ancestry, whatever you want to call it, but you came through, you know? You are so unique. God will never make a replica or another version of you. And deep this is actually very deep. I came to this conclusion, but it's very deep. There is only one of you. Like, no one is going to exist ever in your lineage, in this specific timeline, with the same configuration as you, being your skill sets, your likes, your dislikes, your strengths, what you like, your emotional intelligence. All of those things are very, very unique to you. And I'm pretty sure, like, even within a family household, you will never meet siblings who are alike to the T. Every single sibling is so different, and they are so unique. What they like, what they don't like, how they decorate their room. You'll never find two siblings being exactly the same. Even twins are different. Not everything about them is the same. So I feel like when you internalize that, it's so beautiful, because it just makes you realize, like, wow, I'm one of one. Like, there is not going to be another version of me that is going to exist, that thinks like me, that sees life in a specific way, that is from my lineage, that likes these certain things, and so on and so forth. I feel like when you put it that way, it just makes you realize how unique you are. And I know a lot of people are so quick to say, oh, I'm not unique, I have nothing unique about me. Like, come on, you are so unique. Like, you will never exist with the same configuration that you have, and no one will ever exist that has the same configuration as you, to the T. The way you look, like everything. And I feel like you need to make that such a doubly win. Like, it should be a win to you to know that, like, wow, like, I'm a walking miracle, and there is no one that is ever gonna walk and talk like me. And I feel like that's T. Like, clock it. Also, another thing which is very, very deep, I feel like is very much needed, it's like toxic motivation, but this motivation never runs out of fuel, which is, like, if you are a first immigrant, a first generation to any Western country, I feel like you need to internalize what the people before you had to go through for you to be where you are. Meaning, like, for example, I come from an Ethiopian, East African lineage, meaning my parents were the first people to technically leave their country, and they didn't only move once, they moved like literally twice, you know, and that is with kids and everything. And before them ever leaving, they were like, all of their families and stuff like that, they were from back home, breaded and everything. So it just goes to show you, like, wow, there are so many resources that you have, that I have, that your grandparents never had, never got to experience. And I feel like when you have so much abundance when it comes to tools and resources, A lot of people become comfortable. A lot of people don't want to do too much. A lot of people don't want to live a bit, but deeper. Your ancestry, the people that came before you, did the most, did the most to literally get by every single day, to literally live another day having bread or whatever the case is, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's so important for you to internalize. You have such an abundance of resources. Use it, or else they are going to use you and run you. And this includes your phone. You know, a lot of people are so quick to be consumers, and they are by natural default nowadays. You have to be a creator. You have to be creative, because if you're not creative, you're going to be brain rotted, and then you're going to wonder, oh, why is my life stagnant? Why is nothing going for me? Why am I on the sideline and I'm never doing anything about my life? Yeah, look at what you're doing every single day. The moment you literally wake up to life, you grab your phone and you just look at it and you just scroll. Like, as do you know what I mean? And imagine the people before you, like not even 3 to 2 generations ago, would literally wake up, serve their parents, go do certain things. You know, they had discipline, they had drive, and you're telling me you can't even have 1% to that. You know, I feel like when you frame it like that, it just makes you realize, like, damn, my family, my lineage, my country struggled, and they went through war, they went through civil war, and their blood was shed for dignity, for honor. And I can't literally leave the country and become another statistic, you know? Especially me, I'm Ethiopian. I don't know where you guys are from. So I pride myself so much because my people went through war, my people went through so much. And I know I didn't live that time, I didn't live during those times, but their blood are literally within me. So I feel like having that fierce dignity within yourself to always want to like go hard and do more, because please live a little bit, live outside of the box. Don't be scared. A lot of people are nowadays are so scared to literally be themselves. A lot of people are so stuck on their phone. They have no personality, they have literally no character. This is what they do every single day, brain rotting. Like, people in your lineage did the most. They would literally go mountains fetching for water. Or like, even my mom used to tell me, she used to go to school walking, and it would take her literally like 40 minutes walking with her friends and everything. It was wholesome back then, don't get me wrong, but it was very laborious. And I feel like it's so important to have discipline. Our ancestors had discipline. Why can't you have discipline to literally go after your life, literally, you know, make money, make generational wealth, create a digital empire, whatever you want to call it? Why can't you do that? That is so small, that is so micro, and you can do that. It's just your ability to focus. And I feel like people's attentions are always being stolen from ads or whatever the case is, TikTok. So please center yourself, or else other things are going to center you. And then before you know it, you're going to blink twice, you're 35, you're 40. Live your life, because life is going to just go by. Real talk. Clock it.